Hey guys, it's Girl Got Game. Welcome back to Hakuoki Edo Blossoms, and this time we're on to number 2 of the Shimabara trio, or the Baka trio. The flirt, Sanosuke Harada, our only human boy. Very excited to do his route and cleanse my palate from England Exchange, so let's get started with him, shall we? Proceed, please. He's got a bit of a rivalry going on with Shiranui, too. So I'm excited to have more Shiranui in my life, because he's also great. So I'm trying to remember the strat. I was going to say, the strat with Harada. He likes tough girls, but he also likes his lady, as he called us. I believe he said a man has to protect his lady. He likes his lady to rely on him as well, so it's a fine line of being tough, but like still needing his help. If I'm remembering correctly. Anyway, let's sum up, shall we? Winter 1864. In order to find my father, with whom I'd lost contact, I, Chizuru Yukimura, visited Kyoto. In that city, I bore witness to a horrifying secret hidden within a group called the Shinsengumi, the Fury, a creature with white hair and crimson eyes. Luckily, I was saved from the vicious clutches of the Furies by the members of the Shinsengumi, who will remain nameless. Because I had discovered the Shinsengumi secrets, it was proposed that I live with the Shinsengumi men since they were also searching for my father. I was given the position as the commander's page, and thus my life with the Shinsengumi began. I'd heard rumors, well, whispers really, that the Shinsengumi were little more than a bunch of crooked ronin, but my life with them proved otherwise. Their commitment to protect the safety of Kyoto made them the last of a dying breed, true samurai. It set them apart from those who only craved power. Among the men was Harada, who, with his trusted spear, led the Shinsengumi's 10th Division as its captain. He was never without his friends, Nagakura and Heisuke, but I remember him always being keen to look out for my well-being in the all-male household. Aww. He is very sweet. He took her for walks. He thought to take her out for, like, a girl's day. Like, he is very thoughtful. I do remember that. And he loves head pats. How could I have forgotten the head pats? He's such a head patty guy. Anyway. Experiencing the Ikeda Inn incident, the Hamaguri Rebellion, and the Aberona Koji incident together with Harada strengthened the bond between us. A group of demons, named Shikage Kazuma, Kyuju Amagiri, and Kyo Shiranui, continually sought to interfere with Shinsengumi at every opportunity. It was later revealed to me that my ancestry traced back to demon lineage, which made me the target of their ire. Harada, however, kept me safe. At the time, the fate of the shogunate was threatened by the Satsuma Choshu, which later culminated in an inevitable battle for control of the nation. Making things worse, Sanan, the Shinsengumi's colonel, had me constantly cornered in his aim to further his research on the Furies. Oh no, Sanan, don't be a back-to-back villain. My heart can't take it. Not like this. As my identity came into crisis with the revelation of my demon heritage, Harada kept me safe, giving me the strength to find my feet. Unfortunately, the battle ended in favor of the Satsuma Choshu, and the Shinsengumi were driven from Kyoto. They set sail for Edo in hope of a new start. Something else I'm really excited about this route is Harada and Shin leave pretty early. So I'm hopeful for, like, travel shenanigans with the two. I assume we're gonna leave with them, right? Or will Harada stay because of Chizuru? That's a possibility, too. Leave Shin on his lonesome? Poor Shin. He needs somebody to keep him on the straight and narrow sometimes, though. Well, we'll find out shortly. Before we begin... Coming in hot! Alright, well, that's a promising start. I don't want to do that. No. Stop. Okay. Escape is what I want, thank you. I want to look at the warrior record. Yeah, okay, this isn't... We don't have a corruption meter. I like it a lot. Alright, let's do this. Following their defeat at the Battle of Tobufushimi, the Shinsengumi set sail for Edo. On January 12th, we reached the port of Shinagawa, later making our residence at the Kama Inn, which had usually been reserved for I think it's Hatamotos, not Hamamotos. At the time, the Shinsengumi was formidable in size. Thus, the inn was filled with hundreds of hungry, depleted warriors, all of whom were still mentally recovering from the events in Tobufushimi. Hi, guys!
Is Soji alright? When I visited him back at Osaka Castle, he looked like a zombie in his bed.
You're gonna start off this route making me sad about Soji, Shin? Really? How could you?
Dr. Matsumoto's looking after him, isn't he? He'll make sure he pulls through. He's gotta. Right, Chizuru?
Oh, yes! Harada snuck a glance at me, urging me to agree with him, so I instinctively nodded my head, but... Judging from Dr. Matsumoto's reports, Okita hadn't been improving, which was worrisome to say the least. Would he really be able to survive this?
You know, come to think of it, I heard that before we left Kyoto, that demon bastard Shiranui showed himself up to the Fushimi magistrate. Is that true? I also heard Sano tried to give a little taste of his spear, but he may as well have been using a chopstick.
As I was unpacking our belongings, I couldn't help but stop myself as Nagakura recounted some of what had happened back in Kyoto.
Now who's spreading lies around here? Aw, come on! Don't look at me! I'm just messing with you, jeez! Cut yourself some slack. The guy's practically a monster. Humans are no match for guys like that. I just had an off day. Next time, things are gonna be different.
Harada had normally been in on the joke with Nagakura, eager to exchange banter in good faith, and would have let any other joke slide. Yeah, it was pretty tense last time we saw him. But judging by his reaction, it seemed that the bitter memory of his duel with Shiranui lingered in Harada's mind.
But man, just what are we supposed to do next? The Supreme Commander got the hell out of there before anyone else could. Don't tell me that the war's over and we're on the sinking ship. Well, that's why Hijikata's busting his ass to speak with every shogunate leader in town. Hopefully he can convince them to help us push forward.
Almost immediately after our ships landed in the port, Hijikata was shuffling to and from Edo Castle whenever the opportunity arose. Instinct told me that he intended to reorganize the Shinsengumi and garner support in favor of retaliating against the Satsuma Choshu in the near future. His tireless effort meant that I rarely caught sight of him since we've returned. In the meantime, everyone else was attempting to settle in. Therefore, I usually kept company with Harada and Nagakura, who were two of the only leadership figures who regularly stayed within the compounds.
Well, boys, since we're in Edo, there's no use in us rotting here waiting for good news to come to us. Come on, let's grab a drink. Don't act like being in Edo's some special occasion. Doesn't normally take long for you to wrap your grimy little fingers around a cup of sake. Well, whatever. Sure, I'll go out with you. Might as well show our new recruits a good time while we're at it, eh? Say, that's an idea!
You're heading into town?
Yup, sharp as ever. I'll leave the house to you. Don't let the place burn down now. Something wrong?
Well, if you guys wouldn't mind, would it be okay if I joined you?
You? I don't know if that's such a good idea. I mean, you know how boys can be. I wouldn't want you to hear anything too unsavory.
Harada had a point. Drinking sessions between men of their position were often rowdy and boisterous, and I'm sure Nagakura had some venting to do. I just want to see him draw a face on your stomach again, that's all. Perhaps my presence would have only hindered them from truly cutting loose. Okay. Well, sorry if it was out of line for me to ask to join you.
No, it's me who should apologize. Hey, I know. Now that you're in Edo, I'm going to take you out soon. It'll be swell, I guarantee it. What do you say?
Okay, I look forward to it. Well, I'll see the two of you later on then.
Alright, later.
Ooh, Harada winked at me playfully. And together, he and Nagakura rounded up the new soldiers and took them out to experience Edo's nightlife. Nice, we've already got a date planned in this first episode. I like it. I like it a lot. To occupy myself, I continued unpacking my things and furnishing the room I had been staying in. I lost track of time. Before I knew it, the sun had set, the sky was dark and covered in thin wispy clouds. Harada and the rest of the men, I thought to myself, should be returning any minute now. No sooner than when the thought entered my head. The sliding door creaked behind me, startling me so badly that I jumped as I flinched. I turned to look over my shoulder nervously to see... Damn it, I knew it! As soon as she was like, I lost track of time and it was dark outside, I'm like... They didn't just throw in that Sanan line for nothing, right? No, not back to back. Just don't kiss anyone else, please. My heart can't take it, man. Sanan standing behind me in dead silence, staring creepily. His behavior was strange, but I opted not to make a mention of it. Oh, Sanan. Did you need to speak with Harada? He left a few hours ago. I think he went into town with some of the other men. Oh, well. Now he's closer. Whew, did it get warmer in here?
Quite all right. It's actually you whom I'd wanted to speak with.
Me?
Yes. Do you remember our conversation? Before, I told you that your blood, demon blood, could be key to solving the mystery of overcoming some of the flaws of the water of life.
Yes. Yes, of course I remember, but...
Ah, excellent. That'll speed things up nicely. So you will cooperate with my research, correct?
I couldn't bring myself to nod in response to Sanan's question, instead turning my gaze towards the floor, or his chest. Do you really think that my blood will do anything to help your research?
For now, it is too early to call. There is no precedent for such an experiment.
Then I can't. The best case scenario is what? We could cure the terrible effects of the water of life, but... if the worst case scenario happens, then it could only exacerbate the subject's condition, right?
It is unclear whether or not you understand, but without your cooperation, there's no telling if we can wait long enough before succumbing to bloodlust. Yukimura, it was your father's doing that brought this vile serum to the Shinsengumi.
Dang! Guilt trip? Really? How low will you stoop, Sanan?
So by association, you acknowledge that you are somewhat obligated to comply. You know this, correct?
Yes, of course. Of course, I feel so guilty about what my father has put you through, but... Blindly participating in research of this nature with no precedent or basis for what could happen is what created this problem in the first place. It felt as though the experiments conducted upon the members of the Fury Corps were simply toying with their lives. Sanan made me nervous, inching closer to me when... Toshi? Toshi always comes and saves me, usually.
Yukimura.
That voice. Oh! The bean! Oh! Really? Oh, I'm so happy to see you, man. Because usually Toshi has like a Chizuru's in danger radar going off all the time. But I'm okay with the bean coming to save me.
Ears are listening around every corner. Exercise caution. Keep mention of that serum to yourself.
Saito! As he entered the room, Saito's eyes wandered to look at Sanan with an inspective glance. stare.
How very unlike you to make mention of the serum so openly.
I had only done so under the assumption that there was no one else in the vicinity. Well then, if that's all, I will take my leave from my bedroom shortly. Yukimura, I implore you to think very carefully about our conversation.
With that, Sanan bowed his head curtly. Without another word, he spun around and exited the room.
I gathered that he discussed something about the serum with you, but did he say anything else?
Saito shot me an inquisitive look, staring at me sternly, but... It was nothing. I have some chores to attend to, so I'll be on my way. Aw. It makes me sad that she won't tell Hajime about it. Hajime's trustworthy, he can help. I skipped away from the hall, hastily getting out of sight to let myself catch my breath. It's pretty intense, man. The next morning.
Oh, god damn it. This headache's a bitch. That's the last time I let you talk me into drinking that much ever again.
Oh, good morning, Harada. Do you have a minute? I wanted to talk to you about something.
What is it?
You see, just as I opened my mouth to recount to him what had happened the night before. Sanabu? Sanabu? Who? Hello? Captain Harada, excuse me, a moment of your time? One of the younger warriors skittishly approached Harada with an expression of worry covering his face.
Sure, what's up?
I can't talk about it here. Mind if we step outside?
Sure, give me a minute. So, Chizuru, I gotta go handle this right now. You aren't in a rush, are you? Is it cool if we talk when I come back?
Oh.
Oh? That's serious, huh? Alright, you come first.
Aw, Harada, that's so kind! No, I'm fine. He looks like he's got something bigger to deal with, so please, go make sure he's okay.
Positive? Okay, then see you later.
Harada flashed a quick grin, then led the young warrior with him outside of the hall. I hoped that we could discuss the unsettling request that Sanan gave me last night, but... given how frazzled the warrior looked walking up to Harada, I couldn't blame Harada for leaving. I suppose I could just wait to tell him whenever he's next available. After some time had passed... Oh, Harada, were you able to finish speaking with him?
Yeah. I guess he was on the fence over whether or not to leave the Shinsengumi.
What?
Without Hijikata around, my hands are kinda tied in the situation. Honestly, if he runs, then he'll have to commit seppuku. So I thought it'd be better if we talked it over a bite to eat and got to the bottom of what's bothering him.
I see.
Well, considering how quickly things went south in Tobafushimi, I can kinda see where his head's at. Hey, I hate to say this, but that thing you wanted to chat about isn't too pressing, is it? Can it wait till I get back?
I grew suddenly anxious, thinking about the possibility of Sanan approaching me while Harada is out. It's okay if you get back before the sun goes down. Maybe? Or if you could send Hajime to, like, keep guard, that'd be great. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried about it. Yes, it can wait.
Gotcha. Well, write me down for a rain check when I'm back.
With that said, Harada left the hall. Such a busy beaver. It really shouldn't have surprised me. Harada was undergoing a lot of stress on his own, since neither Kondo nor Hijikata were around to advise him. Perhaps it was better for me to give him some space while he tended to the administrative business for the Shinsengumi, but still. I was at a loss for what to do. Remaining here left me vulnerable to Sanan's sneaky advance. But if I were to leave the compounds without any prior approval, then it could land me in deeper trouble than I would have wanted. Oh god, it's nighttime again. I've never been this nervous with the sun going down, but this time I'm like, oh no. As the sun went down, I heard the hush squeak of the sliding door. And, lo and behold, standing there was... Hi, dude. Well, he's persistent, I'll give him that.
Evening. Have you given any more thought to what we've discussed?
Sanan. Sanan slowly slinked. Oh, I love that. What a great combination of 3 words. Sanan slowly slinked. In, closing the distance between us at an uncomfortable speed. Those fury reflexes, though. With no way for me to call for help, I instinctively stepped back in kind. Like I said last night, I don't think... Sanon's response, however, was completely different to what I was expecting.
It's Toto, you see. His behavior has been a cause of great concern.
Heisuke? Oh man. The tactics of this guy, dang! First the guilt trip and then like, well, I mean this is also a guilt trip, like, you know, I know you care for Heisuke, so surely, you know, you'd want to help him out. Oh, wow. Ooh. Anyway, alright, well, let's see if this gets to her.
The very same. His bloodlust has finally begun to emerge. Like each fury before him, it won't be long until his sanity disintegrates to nothing.
No! Is there really nothing we can do to save Heisuke? My question, it seemed, was the window Sanan had been looking for, and I saw his eyes flash gleefully.
Only with your cooperation in my research can we hope to find any method of helping poor Toto keep his mind.
Me? Somehow, as soon as I'd asked, I knew that Sanan would find a way to bring it up again, but... would his research really do anything to help save Heisuke? But it's not for sure, right? You don't know yet if any good will come from it.
Right. However, trying is better than doing nothing at all, which will surely lead to his insanity, if not worse, his death.
Sanan's words gripped my heart with terror, and suddenly my stomach sank.
Or do you mean to suggest that Toto's fate is of little to no concern for you? Really? Is his life not worth even just a sample of your blood?
What? No, that's not what I said at all. As soon as I said that, Sanan's eyes thinned eerily.
So I can count on your cooperation, yes?
Although I struggled to give in to the idea of helping Sanan perform experiments with outcomes that could potentially put myself or others at risk. I had been completely taken by the fear of letting Heisuke die, simply because I was unwilling to put my well-being aside.
What say you, Yukimura?
I was left with no choice but to say... yes. All I could muster was a timid nod in response.
Thank you. I had a feeling you would come around eventually. Ah, yes. Before I forget, please be sure to keep Toto's condition secret from Harada.
Dang! He really thinks of everything, this guy. What? Why?
Harada regards Toto with a love befitting a younger brother. Were he to discover the truth... well, let's just say Harada can be overprotective at times. My fear is that he would threaten to leave the Shinsengumi over something like that.
Oh, dang. You could lose your boyfriend, too, you know, so don't tell anyone about the secret arrangement. Winku winku. I tried so hard to wrap my head around Sanon's reasoning, but... was hiding it from Harada such a good idea? No. I felt nauseous thinking over everything Sanan said.
Well, shall we? Right this way, Yukimura.
Now? Sanan stuck his arm out, pointing to lead me in the direction of the room where he and the other Furies resided. Oh, Heisuke, please be Heisuke.
Hey, Sanan, you in there?
Oh, it's Harada. Really? Huh, you came running? Why is that, I wonder? Oh, Harada. Harada barged in, and his eyebrows perked in surprise, seeing Sanan and I alone together. It's not what you think, man.
Chizuru? What's going on? What are you and Sanan talking about?
Oh,
Oh, behave. She and I were merely discussing the water of life. She is Kodo's daughter, after all.
What are you on about? You, of all people, should know way more about the water of life than she does. Enough about this. Sanan. Why didn't you tell anyone about the murdering spree that your Fury Corps has been going on?
what? My jaw dropped, and I glanced over at Sanan standing right beside me. Sanan, however, seemed unfazed by Harada's sudden accusation.
What? This is the first I've heard of it.
Stop playing dumb! When I was making my way back, I spotted a couple attacking innocent people out on the street. I had to make sure neither were of sound mind, then I killed them.
I see. They were. My apologies. I hadn't realized. I should have kept a closer eye on them.
Is that all you have to say? Kinda hard to believe that someone as sly as you would let something like that slip from under your nose.
You overestimate me. If there is nothing else, allow me to be on my way.
You keep saying people overestimate you, but nope, they vastly underestimate. Sanan shot Harada a harsh glare and promptly exited the room. I don't know why, but something about that just made me think of Ka from the Jungle Book. And every time he's almost got Mowgli in his clutches, and then he slips away and he's like, "Go! Next time I'll get you." I feel like he keeps getting closer and closer to getting Chizuru, and then something interrupts him and he's like, "God dang it!" Oh, that's funny. Harada let out a little sigh, then turned to face me.
Huh. Chizuru, what were you talking with Sanan about?
As I opened my mouth to report all of the things Sanan had said to me, I suddenly recalled Sanan's warning.
Harada regards Toto with the love befitting a younger brother. Were he to discover the truth. Well, let's just say Harada can be overprotective at times. My fear is that he would threaten to leave the Shinsengumi over something like that.
There was a possibility that Harada could become frustrated enough to leave the Shinsengumi. If that were to happen, I may never see him again. Besides, would telling him be worth it if Harada could potentially take the news of Heisuke's condition poorly? You could just leave out Heisuke altogether and say, "That dude wants my blood bad, man!"
Hey, you okay? Did he say something to you?
No, nothing.
Chizuru, look at me. Doesn't look like nothing. You've been trying to get my attention all afternoon, haven't you? Does it have anything to do with what he came in here to tell you about just now? Hey, don't close up. Talk to me. Or can you not trust me anymore?
No, it's not that. I wanted nothing more than to spill everything that happened in front of Harada, but I was afraid. Afraid of what Sanan had said, and afraid of what would happen if Harada were to ever leave me. Or perhaps I was afraid of misspeaking, thereby needlessly causing friction between two men who ought to have been working together as a unit. I'm going to leave now.
Hey, wait!
Dang, she just like, I gotta get out of I sprinted out of the hall, fleeing from Harada out of embarrassment.